Hey everybody, welcome to You Have to Watch This podcast. I'm Alan.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Devin.
And today we are talking about Ryan's pick as he continues to make us watch the films in the Predator franchise, but not the Alien versus Predator franchise, with the 2010 film Predators. But before we get into that, we like to talk about things that we've watched that don't have to do with today's main topic, and a little thing we like to call We Watched This. And I don't know if you guys can tell from my background, but I saw a thing over the weekend.
How did you get a poster of it already?
It's Alan.
Very carefully. I do get things. I have 25 posters from a film that we did on the podcast not even a month ago sitting on my table right now.
I thought you had one. How did you get 25?
I don't know, but they're still sealed and everything from 1995.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I want one. I want one.
No, so I saw Thor Love and Thunder over the weekend. And my full review is going to be available over on Victims and Villains tomorrow, where I am the Marvel correspondent with our friend Josh Howell. But I figured I'd talk about it a little bit here because I didn't see anything else. So I have the poster behind me from Disney Insider Rewards.
Got it.
So you get points for going to see movies, and you can just get points for like entering codes and stuff on their website and buying merchandise through Disney. So I had enough points from just like linking all of my accounts and setting up that I was able to buy an actual theater-sized double-sided poster for Thor: Love and Thunder, and you can't see it, but it's the one with Jane Foster. It's definitely not the one that is my phone background right now.
So you hated the movie?
I did not hate the movie. I enjoyed it. Like it has problems, and I will give it that. Taika Waititi got a little bit away from the story and threw a few too many jokes in there, but the cast is great. Christian Bale is going back to Batman. Christian Bale is a great villain in this. Natalie Portman's fantastic. Chris Hemsworth is there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, it's great.
Stole the last movie.
He did, but he's kind of just doing the same shtick that he did last time. And but this time you see his ass. So,
great.
Ryan, I really recommend this for you just so you can see Russell Crowe as Zeus. Because I expected Russell Crowe to, I don't know why, but I just expected him to keep his Australian accent for it. No, he's doing like a Greek accent that is borderline racist.
Oh, no.
And it is fantastic. And Ryan, I told you something off air that I'm not going to divulge here, but
Okay.
that has to do with one of the post-credit scenes.
Okay.
But yeah, Devin, I'll tell you between podcasts tonight.
Okay, cool.
If you want to know.
I very, very much need to know.
Yes.
Does it connect or show that this is going in a direction? Is it giving a direction for the Phase 4? Or is it basically like the two end credit scenes are funny Thor joke because Taika Waititi wanted an extra scene, and then like Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up to someone and is like, want to be on Not the Avengers, and then walks away. I don't know why I gave her that accent. That's her name.
One of them at least is setting up something for the future.
Is it exciting looking?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially if you're a fan of a certain TV show. The other one could go
Smash, by the way.
could go either way. Could just be a stinger, or it could be setting up something for the future.
Okay.
But there's still no real direction of which way the Marvel Phase 4 is going at this point. And Josh and I had a long conversation. Like the last 20 minutes of the podcast, I think, were just about this.
I might just need to watch it or listen to that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, it's not clear where they're going with the MCU at this point, which is fine because we're still kind of early. Like we didn't know about the Infinity Stones until Thor 2, which was the 8th film in the MCU. So,
but we all kind of knew Avengers was coming from Iron Man.
Yeah,
which was interesting.
But I don't think there's a problem with just taking a break from the team up films and having a phase that is introducing all of these new characters. You got the Kate, you got Kate Bishop, you got the new Black Widow, you've got Moon Knight, you've got Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk's coming up. So I don't think that it's a bad thing to take a phase and just introduce all of these new characters, which just seems to be what they're doing. But hopefully, in the few weeks at Comic-Con, we'll know more for sure about what the future of the MCU looks like. So Josh and I said we were going to be covering that. So Devin, if you want to join us on that, we could work.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah.
So
I'm on board. You got me. Where can we listen to your review, Alan?
Our review is on Victims and Villains Twitch channel. I did not upload it to their YouTube yet, but I can do that whenever I want.
Perfect.
But it'll also be on podcast feeds wherever you listen to your podcast. So the link will be in the Twitch chat. Now you can visit victimsandvillains.net for their stuff and wherever you get podcasts.
Cool.
So, Ryan, how about you? Have you watched anything recently?
Yeah, Kristen and I watched a 2021 film called The Cursed, which was directed by Sean Ellis, however you pronounce that. I really liked it. I mean, I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't. It's set in rural 19th century France, and it's a film that does a new take on one of the classic monster movies.
Okay.
It has to do with French farmers and I guess French farmers, gypsies, and mythical beasts. So
when you said classic horror creatures, I was like, yes, the classic horror creature French farmers.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole premise of, as I'm going to assume, Alan, it's the white poster on the screen.
Yes.
With the silver teeth. Okay.
Yes.
So it is silver teeth. It's a werewolf movie, and I am very critical of werewolf movies, and because I find a lot of them to be extremely stupid, because it's a very hard topic to do anymore, because it's been done to death, and it's kind of silly when you really think about it. But they did it in a very, very good way. It's almost a 2-hour-long movie. It needed all of those minutes to actually tell the story, so wow. I feel like none of it was really wasted. Yeah, I recommend it. I actually wrote it down on my list to show you guys at some point. So
cool.
And the story's good enough to kind of get you through it. Like, it's not kind of a generic, because I've seen a couple of bad werewolf attempts. I'm looking at you, Underworld. The movie's good enough to like kind of carry it. The plot of the movie's good enough to carry the werewolf.
Yeah. Because it's set like 20-25 years before World War I.
Interesting. Okay.
And World War I is part of the storyline.
Not what I expected. That makes me really interested in this stuff.
Yeah, and they do the whole like turning into the werewolf, like turning into the monster, is unique. I haven't seen it done like this before.
Okay, cool. Because I don't know how many times I can see like somebody's nose get longer.
Yeah,
while they're screaming.
That whole thing, flat out does not happen.
Okay, I mean, because that's a trope. Like that's like a horror movie trope. So this sounds like it's taking it new.
And they completely get rid of that. Yeah, they completely get rid of that.
All right, make me watch this at some point. I really want to watch it.
No, we will.
Good.
All right, Devin, how about you? What have you watched?
So I watched a little TV show called Baymax. This one released on Disney Plus. Oh my gosh, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's not old at all. This show is all of an hour long to watch every episode. Each individual episode, there are 6 of them, is about 12 minutes long. Like, this is a short series. But it is the most wonderful, most adorable series I think I've ever seen. Every episode, the episodes aren't focusing on like Big Hero 6 or like the hero team or like fighting crime. It's literally just Baymax. Every episode is Baymax helping a single person with their medical need. Whether that medical need is their knee hurts, so they need to get more exercise, or somebody breaks their ankle, somebody is on her very first period. So if you ever wanted to watch Baymax shopping for tampons, this is exactly what you wanted to watch. But no, honestly, it is a delightful little show, and I recommend it to anyone who has a free hour.
Full confession, I have never seen Big Hero 6.
As the Disney person in this podcast, it offends me to hear that.
Yeah.
I adored Big Hero 6.
As the Marvel guy of the podcast, it offends me to say it.
Right, I bet it did.
So,
Ryan, what is your have you seen Big Hero 6?
When I get back from vacation in August, that Tuesday is my pick, right?
yes.
Because we talked about this. It's going to be Big Hero 6.
Yay!
Nice.
So
Good.
so it is going to be a Disney movie that I pick when I get back.
And it'll be a Disney movie that's not from me, which is perfect.
There you go. It happens once in a blue moon or a
It
full
does,
moon.
not very often.
Just like Ryan's werewolf movie.
I see what you did there. Connections.
Yeah. Going from a medical robot in a Disney cartoon to the next most wholesome creature in the film catalog at Disney, Predators.
Did you all also watch this on Disney Plus?
No, we don't get it on Disney Plus here. We still don't have the Disney Plus, whatever they call it over there. Star. Yeah,
the adults only section.
Ours is called
Ours
Hulu.
is Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Ours is
Gotcha.
Hulu.
Yeah. Which I've been watching a lot. Like I just got my wife caught up on the first season of Only Murders in the Building. So the Hulu is
Ooh.
yeah,
That's also Disney for me, which I love.
that is awesome. All right. So
Huh?
Ryan, you want to talk to us about your pick?
Yes. So Predators is a 2010 movie inside the Predator franchise. It was produced by, and I don't understand why it's not a credit on IMDb. Well, I mean, he didn't get credit as a writer because he originally wrote the script, but then it got rewritten a bunch of times. But it was the original idea of Robert Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm saying his last name correctly.
Book of Boba Fett. Yep.
Yeah. And the director was Nim. I should have pronounced his. I don't want to say
Nimrod.
It.
It looks like it's
It's not
Nimrod.
Nimrod.
It's not It's not Nimrod.
Aw.
The joys of being. This is the joy of being a dyslexic when you go to read someone's name. But anyway. So,
to be fair, he's not making it easy for you.
No, he's not. So it stars Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne, and a bunch of other people. Danny
Trejo.
Yeah.
Trejo. This film is probably my third, depending on the day. It's either my third or fourth favorite Predator movie.
Wow.
I love the eyes, Devin. I love the eyes.
Yeah.
So, and I know that there's a lot of people that are like, what, really? Really? Seriously, this movie? But I saw this movie a few years after it released.
Mhm.
And the first time I saw it, I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about it. I loved the concept. I loved the idea of the film. There were just a few casting choices that I couldn't get my head around. And at this point, I'm completely fine with it. In fact, I actually kind of like it. It's just there's still some moments where Adrian Brody says or does something, and all I can think of is think of Pee Wee Herman fighting Predator. And there are times where I still can't get that image out of my head, but I really enjoy this movie. I'm not going to say that it's a greatly well-made film, but for me, it's fun and it fits perfectly inside the Predator franchise. So, who wants to start? What you guys thought and your experience with this?
Alan, have you seen this first?
This is the first time I watched this.
Mm-hmm.
I had to split it up into two viewings because I was watching it late at night last night. Like I recorded the Thor podcast last night. It's like I should go watch Predators, and then I remembered Better Call Saul's back, so I was like, I gotta watch Better Call Saul. And
I
then
didn't know that.
yeah, so I was like Better Call Saul, then Predators, and I got to the point where Lawrence Fishburne comes in. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this seems like a good stopping point. And boy, am I glad I stopped it there because, whoo boy, I enjoyed this a lot. This might be my favorite of the Predator movies you've had us watch so far.
Excellent.
I think a lot of that has to do with the cast, with the exception of Adrian Brody. I think everyone else here is doing a great job. I don't like Adrian Brody.
That's fine. That's completely
to
fine.
me, he's just a joke from the Ocean's movies.
Good.
And I don't see him as an action guy. Like, it looks like he's wearing, like, at one point he's shirtless in this, and it looks like he's wearing the buff bodysuit that Weird Al wears in UHF.
Okay, to add something, and this is one of the many little facts that I've known about this movie for years. He put 25 pounds of muscle on for this movie.
Whoa. Good for him.
And he still looks like a string bean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is not a negative. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I'm not making fun of him, because I know when I was in my 20s, if I were to add on 25 pounds of muscle, I would have looked the same way. I would have been like, where are those 25 pounds of muscles, man? Like you said, you know, like, you know, it's like the scale's saying it's there, but where is it?
Yeah, where to go?
But yeah, the Weird Al bodysuit. Yeah, I could definitely.
But other than that, I enjoyed it. I've got a lot to say about some other people in the film that I'll say for later. Because there's a lot of people in here that I recognize from other things, and not just from The Matrix or that 70s show. So I'm excited to talk about that. So
Perfect.
Okay.
I've never seen this movie before. Obviously, it's the first time watching this.
Yeah.
Loved it. From the second you see Adrian Brody falling from an airplane, I'm like, movie's got me. Well done. I don't know why I think that the Predator movies should be always set in the jungle and not the concrete jungle of Los Angeles, but like, this is wonderful. Every beat of this movie, I actually had to pause at Surprise Lawrence Fishburne. So I was like, what is he doing here? But no, absolutely, this movie was a delight. I was with it the whole way. Loved the movie. I don't even know if I have problems with it. The casting's funny. I don't even care that the casting's funny. It just makes it better for me.
Okay. It makes it a motley crew that you can get behind.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sure, give me Topher Grace as the medic that you know is going to be a serial killer. Great. Because the whole time he's like, I don't know why I'm here. I was just on my way to work as a doctor. Murder eyes. Like, the whole time it's just this dead expression. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for him.
I was really expecting like just the Venom costume to come out around him from Spider-Man 3.
I'm going to throw this out there. I think Topher Grace did a better job in this movie than he did in Spider-Man 3.
Yes, I will full-heartedly agree to that. And fun fact, today is actually Topher Grace's birthday. So happy birthday, Topher Grace.
Happy birthday.
If you're listening. If you're listening.
He is.
If you want to celebrate, we'll be hanging out down the street.
Same old thing we did last week. Wonderful.
Yes.
But the first time I saw this movie, I legitly thought that he was there for comic relief, and 2, I thought that was like, well, it makes sense for them to get a doctor because they have like a bunch of these soldiers. None of them are medics, so they get a random doctor. Maybe he did something horrible or something like that, and that's why he's there. Like, that's legitimately what I thought. And then, like, before he reveals himself, like, they give a couple clues. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's a serial killer or something.
Yeah,
like,
you can tell he's just not caught yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I absolutely loved that.
So, all of the Predator movies so far have been on Earth. And this is now taking you to a different planet. They don't really explain where it is. They just show you, hey, they're on an alien planet. What did you guys think of just that aspect of things? And like being, and it's like having them being on like a reserve for these predators to hunt.
I like that you take it away from Earth for a movie. Like they for some reason they each have a weapon, like they're starting off a match in Fortnite. But I like that it was a change of scenery for the film, because they already did the jungle, they already did the city, and they waited like 15 years or so to do like 20 years to do this one.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that it was on an alien planet. It felt very Fortnite-esque with them dropping in on parachutes, though.
Yeah, and there's ever since I've seen this, there's been the dawn of like battle royale games, and Call of Duty became, like Call of Duty was already popular amongst like young gamers, and then like after 2010, it exploded to be even more popular. Whenever I watch this movie, I can't help but think how video gamey it is, because every single person is dressed completely differently. They all have different weapons. They all have different knowledge and different skill sets, and they're just thrown together. I mean, I'm obsessed with the division games. So this honestly makes me think of that, and I'm sure other people, like Alan, you were saying Fortnite, and that makes sense. And I'm sure other people would think like Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever. But, there are certain things about the way that they dress the characters that made me, always think straight to video games whenever I watch this.
I was really waiting for Devin to chime in and just be like, for me, it's Animal Crossing. It reminded me a lot of Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. No, I mean, for me, it was the most dangerous game. Because from the second you like saw Adrian Brody like interact with anyone else, I'm like, they're hunting them for sport. They're hunting them for sport. They're all together. They're hunting them for sport. And man is the most dangerous creature. I was like, yes, I love this. And it allowed me to, so they did give us some of that sweet, sweet lore of kind of the predators and what they do. But it allowed me to fill in more in my head that is now officially headcanon until I'm told otherwise. So there's that.
Do tell.
Yeah.
So the predators are essentially just all bored little rich kids that have nothing better to do with their time than just hunt for sport, because the actual predator home planet is just filled. It's essentially like the spaceship from WALL-E. Every other predator is just this very fat, lazy thing. And these are the few that are like, the most dangerous game. And these are like the small select breed of hunters. That is my headcanon for the predator race. You cannot tell me differently at this point.
Read the comic books and that'll get shot out of the water real quick.
Read that's too much work.
Yeah, I know.
Is it just like
Whatever
a hunting? Is it a hunting culture? Is that it?
They're basically like Klingons from Star Trek. Like, they're very, very, very warrior based. I mean, yes, there's doctors. Yes, there's probably politicians. And like a government or something. Because I mean, someone has to make the science to build the ships. So I mean, but their race is very warrior driven.
They're like the Spartans.
Pretty much, yeah.
Show me an impassioned political speech by a robed predator, please. That's all I want.
So like a pacifist?
Yeah, like a pacifist predator. Like, maybe man isn't the most dangerous game. Maybe the most dangerous game is love.
This whole time we've been hunting ourselves.
Exactly. Give me an introspective predator right now.
Okay, so for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, you can kind of guess what the movie's about. Adrian Brody and a bunch of the other and a bunch of other people drop out of the sky onto a alien planet in the woods with all their weapons, because they're all soldiers in one form of because they're all like dangerous people in one way or another. You have someone from a cartel, you have someone who was on death row, you have Adrian Brody, which is like, they don't really say where he's from. He's like a mercenary for hire. You have someone from the Israeli Defense Force in there. And they pretty much just get hunted for sport and have to work together to try to survive. And predator stuff ensues. I'm not sure how else to explain.
Predator stuff ensues.
Yeah, I mean, it does. And it's a great action movie. But Alan, you said that there were other actors in this you wanted to pinpoint on?
Yeah, the big one is Walton Goggins. which I don't know if you guys know Walton Goggins from anything else, but whenever he
No.
shows up in something, it's a delight. He's in The Hateful Eight, Django Unchained.
Oh.
Okay.
But I've seen him most recently on The Righteous Gemstones, where he plays Baby Billy Freeman, like the uncle to the Gemstone family.
Okay.
And he is hysterical on that show. So seeing him in this was like, okay, Walton Goggins, let's go. Like, I am all in. So
And that was the Death Row mate, right?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was also the bad guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. He was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His character in this, I just love the ridiculousness of his character in this, because he's been in prison for so long. He was going to be put to death in 2 weeks, so he's just using this opportunity just to, not worry about being put to death by the electric chair or by lethal injection or whatever. And it leads to, he's part of one of my favorite like comedic moments in this, and I'm not going to say the line on here, but he talks about what he's going to do when he gets off planet.
Yep.
And the actor from was it Topher Grace?
Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Topher Grace goes, "Yeah, it's 5:00," and then he just repeats the line. And then he goes down to sit next to the Russian soldier, and he's like, "Don't talk to him." He's like, "Yeah, I got it."
I mean, I do genuinely love the banter between these people. I mean, I liked kind of their relationship a lot more, because at least them being in the jungle or a jungle-esque atmosphere, you can't help but kind of compare them to the original crew. And like the original crew is iconic, but you kind of, I like them a bit better. If I'm going to be honest, I think they have more kind of diversity in them. They're more, they have a more different set of skills. They have more unique personalities than like oiled muscle men in the jungle,
which is all that first one was.
It's all it was.
Yeah, which, I mean, you get like how the one guy who was part of the RUF, he was talking about how, like, in my culture, the one who has the most trophies gains the most respect. He has one view on these things that's different from the rest of them. Danny has his experience with working for the cartel, and he puts his 2 cents in. Like, you've got a group that, as far as I'm concerned, from the original movie, you've got Billy, who is the Native American, like, tracker.
Yeah.
In that crew, you have a group. You've got Adrian Brody and then a bunch of Billies.
Yeah, really though, you do.
And I absolutely love it, and particularly because I told you guys my biggest disappointment in the first movie is the fact that they don't show the fight between Billy and the Predator.
Oh right, you just hear it off screen.
But in this movie, my favorite character actually gets his one-on-one fight scene with the Predator, and that's Hanzo, the Japanese gangster.
Yeah, he is very cool.
Yeah, he's got 3 lines in the entire movie, and he is my favorite one out of the group.
I mean, he's a good character.
I mean, sometimes less is more. Like he has that one. Like I think he has my favorite line in the whole thing, where I think it's Topher Grace is like, "You don't talk much." He's like, "I talk too much," and just shows that he's missing fingers. And like, damn.
Yeah. Which is funny because doing the research for the movie, I found out that in that gang, in that like organized crime that that he's a part of, I don't know why they do it, but it's to prevent them from being able to wield those swords that they show him wielding. It's something that has to do with like class or family line or like respect for like the heritage or whatever. That's why he was wearing like a sheath. Like it's purposely made to cover the ring and the pinky finger.
Got it. That makes sense though.
So that was more of a cultural thing, and he used it as a joke, which was great.
And it's a cool little detail that honestly I didn't pick up on the first watch. Like I didn't catch that's why they cut those fingers off and what that meant.
Yeah. And then also how he takes off his shoes. Like he steps his nice expensive shoes in the mud and he just decides, well, these are ruined, I'm done. And
Yep,
just
they're
goes
done.
barefoot the rest of the rest of the movie.
What a classy gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was there any? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
I was
Devin, you
gonna-
go. Devin, you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Oh,
You
I was,
go.
I was
Oh,
gonna ask. I was gonna ask
Yeah.
what your favorite character was, Alan, because Ryan, you gave yours.
yeah.
I'm curious what Alan's is.
Didn't I give mine? Walton got like.
Oh, was that it?
I guess he's not my favorite character. I don't know. I like them as an ensemble.
Yeah, okay.
I like Danny Trejo's entrance. Like he's always fun.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna die first because it's Danny Trejo. But I was looking at the IMDb trivia, and I guess in the script they had that character listed as a guy who looks like Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
And when Danny Trejo found out, he called Robert Rodriguez and said, "Hey, I heard there's a guy in the script for Predators who looks like Danny Trejo, and guess what? I look just like Danny Trejo."
Trejo, yeah.
What a classy guy.
Well, and then Robert and Danny go off and make the Machete movies after this.
Oh, they've been working
Oh,
together for
right.
years. Like
Yeah.
he was Machete before this. Like that Machete character is in the Spy Kids movies.
No. Well, okay.
Wow,
Well,
I didn't know that.
what I'm saying is that Machete and Machete Kills came out after this movie did.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is Machete has been a character outside of those films too.
Oh.
Like Machete,
He was in Spy Kids?
yeah, that Machete is the same Machete as Spy Kids.
Okay. I
That's
shouldn't
so
be too
weird.
weird out on that since who was the Shining Time Station? The conductor was
Which
that
one?
comedian. George Carlin
George Carlin, yeah.
was the conductor on Shining Time Station, which was a PBS kids show. So I shouldn't be too surprised that Machete was, in a kids movie.
That's fair. That's
Give me
fair.
a second. I'll look up all the films that Machete is in.
Okay.
While you do that, my favorite character in this one was Isabel. I thought she was wonderful.
Yeah, no,
I like-
she's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought she was I love that she was the one that stayed behind for Danny Trejo. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, I really connected with her character. Now, while Alan's pulling that up, Ryan, I wanted to ask, like she takes a long time to tell you her name, and she's the one that knows about the predators and knows about what happened in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Was I supposed to remember her from the first one, and I just like pulled a Devin and
Oh,
forgot about it?
no.
Okay, good. Okay,
She's in the IDF, or
okay,
not yet. No, Israeli Defense Forces. Yeah.
yeah,
She's part of the IDF. She probably knows about it because she's probably like their version of like Spec Ops.
got it. Okay,
So she would know from, just having like, conversations between the US government and the Israeli
Mhm.
government, which completely makes sense.
yeah,
But I mean, for her to know that the aliens existed
mhm.
makes complete sense for like the level of, soldier that she is.
yeah,
Because the fact that she's there, I mean, she would have to be top notch.
yeah, and that makes sense though.
My biggest thing is like, how many times are the Predator franchise going to just be like, so this one time in the 80s in the jungle, this elite team was taken out by one of these things. Like they did it in Predator 2 and they did it in this one. Does it happen again in the Predator, or do I just have to wait and find out?
I think they expand on it a bit more than just that.
Okay,
And at what point do they get Schwarzenegger back? Because it feels like it needs to happen.
do they?
No, I'm gonna have to no.
Aw.
Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Glover, man,
Danny Glover.
from Danny Glover. They were supposed to have scenes in this movie. How? I have no idea, but they cut them out. I
Interesting.
don't know how that would have worked.
I mean, I don't think they filmed it from what I saw, but that was
Yeah.
the original plan. Like, if
Yeah.
they could have just been brought there as like on the next wave, like that would have been a hell of a way to end this.
Yeah.
Just have them come in, and like
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger's like, get to the chopper, and Danny Glover's like, I'm too old for this shit still. All right, so I've got the answer on Machete.
Great.
Machete first appeared in Spy Kids in 2001, and then he appeared in Spy Kids 2, Spy Kids 3D, Grindhouse, and the fake Machete trailer, Machete, which came out in 2010, Spy Kids 4, Machete 4, Machete Kills, the Snickers Brady Bunch commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like one episode of the Spy Kids show that was on Netflix. And they've talked about the canon for Machete. In a Reddit AMA, Trejo jokingly stated that what Uncle Machete does when he's not taking care of the kids is what you see in Machete.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. That's amazing. I never knew that it went that deep. I love that difference between like Spy Kids movie, almost XXX movie. Kids
like
movie.
when my nephew's old enough, we're gonna have a Spy Kids marathon. We're gonna watch Spy Kids 2, Spy Kids 3D, and then Machete.
Oh
Really
my god. Yeah. So one of the other characters in the group, the Russian, Nikolai, that actor, when this movie was translated to Russian, dubbed his own lines.
What a cool guy. I love when they do that.
Yeah. So that to me likes the character even more. Knowing that, because I haven't really seen, I don't recognize this guy from anywhere else. I only know him from this movie. And so the fact that I found out that like he dubbed his own stuff into Russian for the Russian release makes me believe the character even more. So
yeah, it gives it an air of authenticity, and I really liked his character a lot too, though. I mean, you're pretty hard pressed to find a character I didn't love. I think the one that I had the hardest time with was just, I think he's called Berserker Predator, but he's the one with the big jaw. I think his design was silly.
Played by Bruce Campbell.
Like,
yeah.
You mean the main one? The one that had the black helmet and like the bone? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember what Lawrence Fishburne was saying about the blood feud?
Yeah, with the big ones versus the little ones.
Alan, you okay?
Yeah, I messed up. My favorite character is Lawrence Fishburne. For a second, I forgot he was in this.
Yeah. Okay. There. Oh. We've got that planned out. Okay, good.
Good.
So that plays a big deal in the next one, in the Predator.
Okay.
The fact that there's two different kind, and yes, I'm not a fan of the face design.
Yeah.
Because you've got like the original Predator, the smaller one that actually has like the spines and like the facial features, the brows, the cheekbones, the jawline, like everything about it is very alien. It's hard to really recognize what you're looking at, like where the bends in the face are. And in the new one's like airstreamed, it's like an SUV versus a sports car, like
the new sleek model.
Exactly. It doesn't really work for me in a way. Like it's like someone took the xenomorph alien head, shrunk it down to about the size of a football, and then stuck a four-cornered funnel on the end of it.
That's pretty much right.
Do you think the Predators looked at the alien head and did that themselves? Because canonically they know about the xenomorph.
That's true.
So maybe they did that design on purpose.
I'm talking about the actual face.
The face shield. Yeah, I'm saying
No. I'm talking about the skull, like the actual head of the alien.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the helmet. I'm not talking about the face mask or anything. I'm talking about the actual head on the Predator itself, the costume design. It's too smooth. Like it's just too aerodynamic. And I think they were trying to separate the Predators even more by decorating the masks compared to the original set of Predators who didn't do that.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to separate them a bit more.
It just looks like he has an underbite. I think that's the biggest thing that probably just like, oh, gonna get you.
So would you have liked the tusks that the other one had on the main one?
Yeah.
Because the one had like the bones tied to have like tusks on the front.
I would have liked that one. Absolutely, I would. I mean, I think I think the jaw looks silly. I think that's my biggest complaint.
Well, it's a very strong because it's bone. It's like aged yellowed bone on like a sleek black face front.
I mean, and when you describe it like that, it sounds so cool, and that sounds great. But in actuality, it just looks like it. I don't know. I think it's design concept versus execution for me for it.
So, Lawrence Fishburne's character is amazing in this. And Alex, since it is your favorite, I want you to go into why.
He's just batshit crazy. It's like Yoda on Dagobah. Like, you leave him alone for so long, he just goes insane. And you don't get to see that often from Lawrence Fishburne. Usually it's like, I'm Perry White at the Daily Planet, or I'm Morpheus and I'm all serious. Take a pill. But here, like, it's Lawrence Fishburne being weird, and I loved it. Like, I wish there was more of it. Like, the fact that he only gets like 10 minutes of screen time is probably my least favorite part of the film, but he's phenomenal. Like, I would love to see, like, I want to see a buddy cop comedy with him and Keanu Reeves now.
So, he did all of that in 3 days of shooting.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
What a champion.
Yeah, they only had him on for 3 days, and there was like 35 plus days of filming. So like 50.
Wow.
There was like 56 or 57 days of shooting, so like 55 plus. Mm-hmm. And he was only there for 3 days.
Wow.
For it. So, I mean, it's just, to me, I mean, yeah, I would have liked that whole thing to play out a bit further than what they did, because I really like them showing the group react to him talking to himself when it came to like describing like how long he's been there, and he's like turning over and going, "No, I got it. I'll tell him. Don't worry about it. I'll tell him." And they're just all kind of staring at him like he's been here for like 10 years. But all I could find was that he'd been there for like maybe 3 or 4 years.
He says 10 seasons. So
he says 10 seasons, and I found a variety of different people trying to explain that.
Oh wow!
And the average, like, the shortest amount of time I saw was 2 years. The longest amount of time I saw was 4 years. Yeah. So I'm going to say 3.
Yeah,
because that would kind of describe his mental state.
If the seasons are like they are on Earth, then I would say 3.5 years probably.
Makes sense.
Part of me wonders if that's the role that Schwarzenegger was supposed to get. Like, they arrive here, and then like in the Predator suit is just Schwarzenegger going crazy, like, "Don't touch that!" Like, I'll tell him then. Like, just.
Could you guys have wanted giving the same lines? Could you the same exact lines as Lawrence Fishburne?
I don't know. Would you guys have wanted that for him, though? Like, would you guys have wanted him to get exploded by a predator on a ship because he was trying to smoke out the heroes?
I don't think that if it was Schwarzenegger in that role, I don't think it would have been that same ending. Like, I don't think it'd be the exact same role. I think maybe he gets off the planet with them, or like he survives until the end.
Or he heroically sacrifices himself defending the group or something like that. Like, he gets like a heroic send off.
It just baffles me that, like, this is the one franchise Schwarzenegger hasn't come back to, but he's done like 20 Terminator movies.
That's fair, because it would be great to see him again in one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, so the only other things that I found. The only other things that I wanted to know your guys' reaction on was the ending. The 2 songs they play during the credits. Did you guys listen to at least the start of the second song?
No, I don't think I did.
The first one was Little Richard, right?
Yes, it's the same song they were playing in the Huey in the first movie, flying out to the jungle.
That's very cool. I did not catch that.
And then the theme that they play after that is the original Predator theme to the first film.
Oh, that's very cool.
Now, Robert Rodriguez, the reason why this was made by, the reason why there was a different production company involved in this besides Fox was that Robert wanted to have complete control. So he transferred that over to his production company instead of going through Fox. So that's why it's done by, was it Troubleshooting or
whatever? Yeah, their logo in the beginning was phenomenal, by the way. Yeah. Just all of the explosions. Great.
And he also told everyone that the first Predator movie is where everyone were to get their inspiration for costume design, art design, music. He basically sent out a memo that said that the only reference that he wants anyone to take any type of direction from was the first movie.
Oh wow.
So that's why, I mean, that might be one of the reasons why I like this one so much. It's because it feels, there's a lot of aspects to this that feel like the first one. And he's also come out and said quite strongly that this is absolutely not part of the Alien versus Predator franchise. This is part of just the Predator franchise. He is very, very adamant about that.
I mean,
explain that to me. Because I've seen Alien versus Predator. I've seen it a while ago, so I don't remember it. I remember it being just fine.
Did you see the second one?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, maybe that's why you're okay.
Yeah.
So they just like I like the first one. Don't get me wrong. I like the first Alien versus Predator. It's one of the 3 that Kristen and I watch together in rotation occasionally. But the second one is just hard to get.
Do they just do the Predator dirty in that one and like kind of switch continuity, or like?
They set it in like a small Wyoming town where like Predator and Alien land in this small little like 2,000 person town. So think Red Dawn.
Okay.
But the Predator and the Xenomorphs are fighting each other, and the U.S. government knows about these things and decides to nuke the town to get rid of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's not wow, because it's set up like a teen drama movie.
Oh, that's what I wanted in my Predator movie. There wasn't enough teen drama in this.
Like, okay, so Requiem, whatever. The second Alien versus Predator movie suffers from that same thing that other movies do, where I came on here and said a while ago that like it has that like WB feel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like,
you don't think this movie would have benefited a little bit if you knew that like Topher Grace had a bit of a crush on Adrian Brody and was afraid to talk to him, which is why they don't share many lines together? Because I think it would have added something.
I think it should have gone the other way. I think Topher Grace's dad should have come in and threatened to put a boot up his ass.
Nailed it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that now you guys got my Pee Wee Herman comment I made.
Oh yeah, 100%.
3 weeks ago. Okay, good. Yeah. Because when this movie first came out, a lot of people made that joke. I was one of them, about how like it was Pee Wee Herman fighting aliens. And the reason why they selected him was because they felt like if they were to have casted like a Vin Diesel type actor, they would have gotten flack for being too much like the first movie. So they decided to go with getting an actor that was the complete opposite, so that they didn't have to deal with that. But I'm not entirely sure that, I mean...
Okay, so their logic was Vin Diesel's too butch. Let's get the guy from the piano.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just really hard sometimes seeing him do.
I'm glad it's not Vin Diesel in this, because I could definitely see this being like Fast and the Furious 11. Then, like, the only way we stop the Predators is family. Like,
Predator's part of the family now.
Yeah. As he's looking around, he sees a con.
Yep.
Someone from the Mexican cartel.
I mean, isn't that just what Fast and Furious has become now? Like, it's just somebody from every organization around the world that's part of the family now?
I don't know, because I stopped at 3.
Honestly, you're missing out. They are phenomenal.
On what?
The last
They are
one,
phenomenal.
the last one I saw was 5, and I was like, "This is not
Mm-hmm.
what I expected this movie to be." It was just a heist film.
Yeah.
It's not my kind of heist film because, like, my go-to is like Oceans, like any of the Oceans movies.
No, at this point, it's just self-aware. The Fast and Furious franchise. They know what they are. They know what they're doing, and they know the reputation they have, and they're
Yeah.
just steering straight into it. Oh, it's glorious.
I see what you did there,
Yeah, I see
staring.
what you did there. I'm adding a couple of them to the list, by the way, for us. I'll get you all caught up.
Like, because to me, Fast and the Furious, like cars, like Predators is about like Predators, aliens, sci-fi, and to me, the correlation would be what the Fast and Furious movies began with and ended with. Is you would have like Alien versus Predators movie started off about like science fiction alien warriors battling humans, and then Predator 11 is basically the dead poet society, where you have aliens teaching xenomorphs how to write poetry. Like that to me is the difference between where Fast Furious started to where it is now. And like
my sweet summer child, we will get you up to date. Don't you?
No. It's fine. My analogy from what I know still holds though.
It probably does.
I'm just talking about how different where it started to where it is now.
Yeah. I'm not denying you that, but it's so good. Just wait.
Okay.
All right. Any other thoughts on Predator before we wrap this up?
Last question for you guys.
Yes.
Because I've been wondering about this. So I have a definite answer to it. What was your favorite kill/death in this? Because, oh boy, did they get creative sometimes. And I'll go first. Mine was 100% Walter Goggins. When he rips all of his spinal cord and skull out, and then you see this deflated beach ball of a head laying there. Mm-hmm. Oh man, this movie.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. Well, the Yakuza guy, the sword fight.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was really cool.
So you guys took my 1 and 2. Those are my answers. So I'm going to give my own answer to my own specific one because I'm sure that you guys don't have answers for this. Mm-hmm. My favorite gun in this, is the AA-12.
What is that one?
That's the one that Adrian Brody's carrying. The automatic shotgun. That thing exists. That thing's real. It is an auto shotgun. It's my favorite gun in the whole movie.
They sell it at Walmart.
I wish. We live in America, but not that much of America.
I had a weird problem with a gun where the Russian was just shooting all willy-nilly, and I was like, where are you getting the ammo, sir? And then realized it was probably his book bag.
Yeah, and that's actually an error in the film, a pretty major one for gun nuts.
Tell me.
That's an American handheld minigun. The movie, the cast and crew for the movie could not secure the Russian version of that, which is a 4-barrel rotating gun, not a 6.
Oh, so they got the better one.
So, well, they got the one that they could get their hands on.
That's fair. I didn't notice. I never would have picked that out.
You wouldn't have noticed. I didn't notice this until maybe like a year ago when I was looking this stuff up. When I was looking this stuff up for one of the other movies we were doing.
I didn't even know Adrian Brody's gun, for example, was a shotgun. I was like, wow, that's a powerful gun. And just left it at that. So that's where I'm at with this.
I first encountered that one in a video game, and I fell in love with it then, and I still am now.
Oh, wonderful.
So. All right. Any other final thoughts? Well, since I talked about it earlier, it is Topher Grace's birthday. So I had a question I meant to ask you guys earlier, so you were prepared for this. But what is your favorite Topher Grace film? Like, what is your favorite?
Furiously Searching. Oh, easy. Black Klansman.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Easy. Love it.
I've only heard great things about that.
It's so good. Oh.
I'd be lying if I said Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, so I'm not going to say that. This might actually be my favorite performance of his that I've seen on the screen. Actually, no, I take that back. The Ocean's movies. He's fantastic playing himself in those. I think I have to go through and watch the Ocean's 11 movies because in 13 there's a con that they do called the Brody that I just kept thinking about every time I watched this movie today. Like every time Adrian Brody was on screen, I was like, oh, the Brody. So
maybe that's one of the ones we do for our live streams because that I would watch the Ocean's movies any day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say this simply because like I'm going through his like what he's been an actor in.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other stuff that I would possibly put up there, like they're old TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He does a
So
lot of
my
good
favorite
TV.
film is this. I mean,
I forgot
That's
that Topher Grace came to Penn State when I was there and showed us Take Me Home Tonight. Like I got to see him do a Q&A after that movie in person.
What could you have possibly answered about Take Me Home Tonight?
There was nothing. He was pretty much just shitting on Spider-Man 3 the whole time. He's like,
you want,
yeah, I left that 70s show and then I did that Spider-Man thing, which was a mistake. And then now I'm doing this. Like, all right.
Good.
Well, I think that does it for our episode on Predators. Ryan, I believe your next pick is also going to be a Predator film because there is a new Predator film coming out here soon, right?
yes, and it is the last in the sequence. It is the Shane Black, The Predator movie, which I'm just going to tell you guys right now. It is flat out, depending on the day, either my second or first favorite Predator movie.
Wow.
Because I've seen all the movies, I get all the lore, I love all the humor, and this movie is all of that summed up.
Okay.
So,
I'm excited for this one because I love Shane Black. Yeah, I'm excited for that. So that'll be in a few weeks. Devin, you are next on the rotation. What is your pick for next week?
So believe it or not, it's not a Disney movie. Next week, we're going to watch a Wes Anderson movie called The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I can't wait for you to watch this.
And I do believe that there will be a change in the schedule for next week.
Yes.
So I believe the plan right now is we will be live not on Tuesday, but Sunday night. So stay tuned for details on that. To find out when we are live, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, where we will let you know as soon as we figure all the details out. You can also, if you're watching us here on Twitch, hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, you probably already liked our page, so thank you. You can listen to You Have to Watch This podcast on all major podcasting platforms. Even if you watch the live stream, please download the episodes. It really helps us out with ads. We've been running ads on the show, so even just the downloads help. So we appreciate that. Until next time, for You Have to Watch This podcast, I'm Alan.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Devin.
And you guys are not ugly sons of bitches.
Aw, thank you.